bait of the day, Poe's Nervous Miracle. This is a little secret weapon. It's long discontinued, but you can still find them. You ready to run a gun? It's time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Poe's Nervous Miracle. Man, this is a good little bait. It's a shame they don't make them anymore. They're made of cedar. They started making them in the 60s, probably around the late 60s, I believe. And they kept making them through about 1990, 91. But the older ones, I think, are a little bit better as far as the shape. They're a little bit longer. And I just like the colors a lot better. You see I got a perch right here, but they made them in all different kinds of colors. And it's a shallow bait. It's got a metal lip on it, so this is definitely one Poe's bait. You don't have to worry about the lip cracking on it. Modifications I do to it, I put split rings on here, and a little bit longer shank of a hook. As you can see, I've got the long shank KVDs on here in a size 6, and I have a snap on the nose. Now, why do I have a snap on the nose? Because one of the things I've done with this is I've modified it. Now, if you can see here, there's a screw eye, or there's a screw that goes where the screw eye is located. I like to take that out and replace it with a screw eye, so I have a line tie on top, which is original, and a line tie on the bottom. What this does, the line tie on top gives it a little bit tighter wiggle, a little bit shallower running. But the line tie here at the bottom gives me a little bit wider wobble to it. This is a great lure if you want to throw it like a Rapalomena and just kind of twitch it on top. This is a good bait for that, but it's also just a really good finesse, natural type bait for shallow water cranking. Like I said, this thing doesn't go but 2 feet, 3 feet if you're lucky. And it's not a bait that you overpower. This is a bait that you finesse. You don't want to speed crank this thing because it'll blow out on you. You don't want to do that. This is a very well balanced bait. There's no counterweight in here or anything. Just the bottom hook is what keeps it straight along with this lip. But it's a really, really good shallow water crankbait. And I like it because it's very finessey. There's no rattle in it, except for what you usually get with split rings and hooks. And I like to throw this on, say, anywhere from 8 to about 12 pound test. I don't like to get too heavy of a line with this. If you want a good all around average, I'd go probably 10. But this is not the kind of bait that you throw into heavy cover and get back out. It'll bump off a tree here and there, but it's really best around shallow cover if you've got rock or you've got a brush pile or two here or there, kind of sporadic. That's where this really comes into play. Now, these are available on eBay. You can find them on there. And yeah, they made them in a lot of different patterns and colors: rainbow trout, shad, pearl blue back, what we call homer, which is chartreuse, greenback, orange belly. I've got a bunch of these colors. But this one particular bait right here is actually my favorite of all the ones I have. Not so much because of the perch pattern, or you can call it a bluegill pattern, but just for the fact that it really runs great. And not only that, but it's the size I like, because some I have are just a little bit shorter. This is one of the longest ones I have, which is why I throw it. But if I had one of these to throw, it'd be this. Another color that's really good too that I've caught fish off of is just the white with the olive green back with the silver glitter. And that's also a great pattern to throw too. But this is probably my favorite right here. But the Poe's Nervous Miracle. Again, if you really want to make this thing do a couple of different things, take out the screw and put in about a 1/2 inch long screw eye. It's about a 0.50 diameter. And it with a little drop of super glue just to make it watertight. Set it in there. It'll fit just about the same size hole as that. Oops. About the same size hole as the other. It's actually a little bit bigger than what the little screw is. But a snap just makes me, or helps me to change this back and forth a lot easier. It runs about the same depth, really, no matter which one that you do. I know that, you know, for a line tie on top, it's going to give you a different depth than the bottom one is, but there's not that drastic of a difference. This is about a 1/4 to 5/16 ounce lure. It does not float quick. This is made of cedar. It's going to come up a little slow, so it's not a popping like a balsa plug or something like that, or even plastic. So the Poe's Nervous Miracle, discontinued, but still available. It's a great secret weapon to keep in your box. I actually have this one clear coated so it won't crack on me, and it just helps protect it a little bit more. But the Poe's Nervous Miracle, go find you one on eBay and try these things out. If you've already got them, try that little screw eye modification I put in there. Put you a snap on it, see what you think it does, because that tight wiggle to a little bit wider wobble sometimes can make a huge difference, especially depending on the time of year that you're fishing. And if you find them shallow, then you can definitely adjust which kind of action you want this bait to have just by simply changing the snap on it. That's what's really cool about them, is you can modify baits. That's what I love about baits in general. A lot of times you can modify them and change the way they work. But that's all I've got for this, guys. The Poe's Nervous Miracle, long gone, but you can still find them. It's one of my favorite lures for just changing things up. So until next time, may the Father bless you and keep in Yeshua's name, and as always, fish on.